Hello, my name is Caitlin, and I just watched Snow White. After years of waiting with the bad press, the reshoots, the awful costumes and makeup, you still have a little bit of hope that something in this movie will be good. But all this time, man, the movie ended up being disappointing anyway. Maybe you're going to avoid seeing this in theaters, but here's what happens. And I apologize, but I kind of dislike the movie right away because we get a bunch of CGI animals on a storybook telling us the story of Snow White. And I shouldn't dislike it so quickly, but I really hate the CGI animals in this film. All they do is frolic and be cute. And I get it, it's Snow White animals, but they are just there for kids to go, aww. And you're not going to use real animals for everything. But I think you can throw in some real chipmunks to just run across a book and then have the book open. Anyway, then we go to Snow White being born, and she's born in a carriage during a snowstorm, and that's why her name is Snow White, after the snowstorm. Why not Blue Jay for the stupid little Blue Jay that's CGI and landing on the door of the carriage? Why are they in a carriage? Were they on their way to the medieval hospital? She could have easily given birth in the castle, and there's a snowstorm, and the snowstorm stops when she's born. A little sign showing she's destined for greatness. Anyway, then they're singing a song. I couldn't tell you a single line from the song, but they live in a community, and everyone works and eats and shares the wealth. Very communist kingdom they got going on. And there's a bunch of stuff about fairness and bravery. And then Snow's mom falls ill and keels over. But I don't know, if you're going to go on about fairness and bravery, then why not just have her heroically sacrifice herself to save somebody? If you're going to change a film because you feel it's outdated, then maybe mom getting sick and dying is the oldest and most outdated thing you can do. Just a thought. But we don't even have time to think about the mom because in comes the evil queen, Gal Gadot. I don't know what her name's supposed to be. Yeah, she's a pretty woman, and she's so beautiful that her beauty has magic or something like that. And she just instantly turns evil. Like, okay, maybe you wanted to give her a scene or two from beautiful woman who can do magic to evil, but here you are. The king runs off somewhere, and Snow is left with the queen, turned into a maid and locked inside the castle. And the evil queen is taking all the wealth from the citizens. People aren't singing and dancing nonstop anymore. Years later, some bandit is in the castle, and Snow's like, oh, no, you shouldn't be stealing. And because he doesn't know she's Snow White, she goes, Snow White cares about the people. She thinks about them all the time. And he tells her, maybe she should stop thinking and start doing. Doing what? The queen and Snow have a talk. I have no idea what it's about. Snow goes to pick apples, and the queen sends the huntsman to get her. I kid you not, he's holding a knife to her, and she's just like, why? Gonna do it. Why? It's, who cares? He doesn't do it. And she runs into the woods and instantly finds the dwarves' house. Unlike the original, she just goes right in and just goes to bed. So then we have the CGI dwarves. They sing the hi-ho song, and they don't look good. The song's okay, though. I just couldn't really help it when I was watching it. Like, the whole thing is CGI, right? And how much CGI are you going to put into a film before it stops being a live-action film? Anyway, they go back to the cottage. They're like, who are you? I'm Snow White. Oh, Princess Snow White? We know who that is. All the dwarves fight, and she gets them to get along and stop being mean to Dopey by teaching them how to whistle while they work together to clean the house. Then she runs into the bandit again, and he starts singing a song called Princess Problems. I hated it. Then enter the 7 bandits. I'm sure you've seen the image of it where everyone thought they were going to replace the 7 dwarves with the 7 magical beings, and that backfired immensely. Anyway, they're there. Some castle guards show up. They start fighting them. Snow fakes them out like, I'm over here, and steals a horse. And then the love interest gets shot with an arrow protecting her, and Doc saves him. And then they start partying and sing a song about how they're falling in love. I don't remember it. I know they were singing. Again, the music is very forgettable. So love interest is like, I'm gonna go and blah blah blah. Here says Snow, take my necklace. My father gave it to me. Love interest gets captured by the queen. The queen sees the necklace and turns herself into the hag and sings the song again while she makes her little poison apple. I don't understand the point of her reading the spell like, oh, how do you break the spell? true love's kiss, just because Snow White isn't really dreaming about true love. It's all about bravery and fairness, and oh my god, I heard the word fairness in this movie so many times. I am sick of it. And then Snow is having a conversation with the dwarves, right? She's all like, I have to go. I have to find out what really happened to my father. And they're all sad and they leave for work. In comes Hag Queen, right? Snow is still at the house for some reason. Like, girl, I thought you were gonna leave to find your dad. Why are you cleaning? Why say anything about going to find your dad if you're just gonna be at the house cleaning? Unnecessary. Hag is all, oh, the queen caught love interest. Here's an apple so you can have some energy to go after the queen. And she just bites the apple. It's like watching a pitch meeting. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? And during this, we see the animals and they're running, and you think they're going to run to help Snow White, and they don't. They go to get the dwarves, and the dwarves try to run to get Snow, but of course they're too late, and they're all sad. She's asleep. And you think, here it is. They're going to put her in the fancy case. No, they lay her on a rock. They just put her on a rock in the woods. Love interest breaks out. He kisses Snow. And the way she wakes up is so weird. She gasped like she was drowning or something. But then she gives a speech. Everyone's going to go to the queen. She's wearing this big old red hood, like a Little Red Riding Hood. The town folk are behind her for some reason. And the whole confrontation is on the bridge in front of the castle. And the queen's like, who do you want leading you? A hottie or this cute little girl? Here, Snow, end it. And she holds out a knife. And of course, Snow's like, no. So the queen tells the guards, like, end her in front of everyone. You know, all the people that supported her and not me. But then the guards don't do it because Snow remembers their names. The evil queen freaks out. She goes up to the mirror, and the mirror's all like, you're pretty, but you're shallow, and you'll never have inner beauty like Snow White. Gal Gadot lets out a big old no, and I guess dies. The kingdom bursts into song. Because everyone's singing and dancing and wearing white, I'm not sure if Snow married Bandit or not, and this is their wedding. But yeah, the end. I do not remember when I found out about this movie was being made. Probably when I saw those awful behind the scene pictures with the hair and the dress I hate. I think everyone has talked to death about Rachel's online carpet interview. It was probably jokes that landed badly. The obvious lack of faith that the company had in this. We didn't get a trailer till like, what, 2 months before the movie premiered. It got barely any promotion, no big carpet rollout. I'm honestly surprised Disney even pushed out this film and didn't just cancel it, because they clearly don't care about it. They're just waiting for Lilo and Stitch to come out, and I can't blame them. I hate hating movies, but I don't like this movie at all. The story's pretty bare bones, I think. Instead of adding scenes to develop the characters, they chose to put more characters into it. Like, honestly, what did the bandits do? Nothing. Or Flower Crown Girl. There's a girl when Snow was a kid, and she gave her a flower crown. Like, here you go, peasant. And then when she comes back to take her kingdom, there's a girl wearing a flower crown. Like, were you supposed to be an important character? A symbol of Snow's kindness. The prince being a bandit was a choice. I think they were trying to make him be like Eugene from Tangled. Maybe a Robin Hood. Steal from the rich, give to the needy. Be in the woods with his merry men. Break into song like the Robin Hood from Shrek. Oh my god. Rachel as Snow White, and I guess Gal Gadot as the evil queen. I think they were both miscast in this film. And not just because of their appearances, but I don't buy Rachel as Snow White. Snow is supposed to be a teenager, right? She's supposed to be a bit naive and see the goodness in people and super kind and hardworking. She's very optimistic. But with Rachel, I don't see that. She just wants to be the leader her dad wants her to be. Being the leader your dad wants you to be versus being good and kind and always having hope, not the same thing. In fact, there's another Snow White movie called Mirror Mirror, and the evil queen in the narration in that film was like, ugh, I guess this is one of those kingdoms that no one ever had a job and all they did was sing and dance all day. She was so dead on with that because they literally made that the Disney Snow White. Then again, in Mirror Mirror, they have the 7 dwarves, right? But they don't work in a coal mine or diamond mine or whatever. They're bandits. And when they meet Snow, they actually have a montage and train her to fight and be a bandit. A change, but you know, I like it. And then the Disney Snow White was going to have these 7 magical creature bandits. guess maybe Snow White took some inspiration from Mirror Mirror. It wouldn't be the first time Disney did something like that. Anyway, yeah, I just don't buy Rachel as Snow White. I think she was acting really hard to look good and be a good person, but I didn't believe that this was a character that was a good person. Gal Gadot as the evil queen was weird. She has 2 songs. I don't care about either with them. I can't tell you any of the lyrics, but her transformation from beautiful woman to evil queen was so rapid, and she felt shallow, just like the mirror said. She's beautiful and powerful, and she wants to keep being beautiful and powerful. Oh yeah, and the dwarves are CGI. I almost forgot about it. How could I forget about it? I don't understand why they just didn't hire 7 people. Whatever this realistic CGI is, no thank you. I can't even tell them apart. I just know Doc wears glasses and Dopey doesn't talk. Until at the very end where he's like, oh, let's get that evil queen. We ain't scared of her no more. Or whatever he said. Do people forget that, like, back in the early 2000s, like, Snow White had this surge of popularity, especially with Dopey? And that's the thing that bothers me the most about this film. Nobody on it seems like they cared about elevating it to be a great film, let alone a great Snow White film. You can change things about Snow White. You can add things to the story, but make it make sense. Will some kids like this film? Sure, no doubt. But I don't think it's going to really resonate with people. I think it's going to be like Moana 2. You know how many kids went to go see Moana 2 and liked it for like a week and got over it? That's what Snow White is. Or just watch the original. Kids will watch older Disney films. Or watch Mirror Mirror. Or Red Shoes and the 7 Dwarves. Or Ever After High. I wouldn't really recommend anyone go watch this film because if you want to watch a Disney film, wait for Lilo and Stitch to come out in May. And if you want to see a PG film, go watch The Day the Earth Blew Up. It's really funny. If you don't like Looney Tunes, go watch Paddington Bear in Peru. If you don't want to go to the theater, go watch Dogman. There's a lot of other films that have released this year that I would recommend over Snow White, because worse than being bad, it's disappointing, and it makes me so sad that no one on this film cared about making a good film. No one elevated the script. What's the point of being a good singer if the songs suck? It really frustrates me that after over 80 years, Disney still couldn't do justice to the first princess, right? They just slapped everything together and they threw it out there. It's almost like they're embarrassed of Snow White. I don't care how many behind the scene features I see of, oh wow, we really have hard choreography because we have to pretend that imaginary dwarves are here because we couldn't hire 7 people. How am I supposed to be happy you didn't hire people? Anyway, that's it. Bye.